The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. They took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he's going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. It got his man. Complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. 64 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Hey, 7-7, our score after 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins to about the 40-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route. And the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat. And then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They're going to look to throw. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have it here just past the 25. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw here. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Play action. It's Jackson. Going up top. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage. And we're still in the second quarter.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Tucker's kick is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
So the completion gets them just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Jackson. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he'll let it fly for Austin.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
This is Harris. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? and that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. The slot man in motion right.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. 182 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And there was one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go play action now. Jackson.
And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses home or out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson.
He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. From 10 yards out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got some. And now off to the races down the right side. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And the Raiders are going to have it here at their own 15.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
They coming off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The tight end in motion right. Right back to him on 1st down.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Here's Dobbins.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Well, 193 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Jackson.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Throwing is Jackson. His pass caught at the 4.
And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so. Bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Dobbins is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Jackson. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Now they send the tight end in motion left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Raiders are right back in this football game.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 3rd and goal. And keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. He'll look to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to get it back to a 1-score game. The kick by Carlson is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for it.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, 207 yards for him on the ground as this has been a night to remember to this point.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Another run here with Dobbins. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and it happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for